Hi and welcome into the final part of this course, into the final video lesson called Practical Guide for Action. Here we will summarize everything that we analyzed in the previous lessons, and at the end you will have a clear practical guide on exactly how you can apply this knowledge in your practical games. And the good thing for you is that you'll be able to apply it right after you finish studying of this course. Right after that, you'll be able to go play games and see the good progress. Okay, so how should you play chess middle game? First of all, in the middle game, you need to attack. The key question here is to ask yourself, what can I attack in opponent's territory? So you look at that territory of the board and to the opponent's half of the board, and you ask yourself, what can I attack there? If you can attack something right away, great. In most of the cases, you should just do that. If you see that at the moment there are no attacking opportunities, then you just need to prepare your attack in the future. So you will make one or a few preparatory moves and you will go for attack a bit later. What should you attack? There are two main objects. It is either opponent's king or pawns. If you can attack and checkmate opponent's king, of course this is the most straightforward and most effective solution. However, more often than not, there will be no practical way to start an effective attack on an opponent's king. In that case, you will simply start attacking opponent's pawns. Finally, no matter what is the target of your attack, whether you attack opponent's kings or pawns or anything else, in any case, you need to play in center forward direction. And that is the fourth element of this scheme, center forward play. This means that you need to move your pawns and your pieces into the center forward direction. Whenever you have a choice between moving your pawn or rather a piece backward or forward, you move it forward. Whenever you have a choice of moving something on the side or moving it towards the center, you strive to move it towards the center. Of course, there may be some exceptions when you simply obliged to make a move backward because otherwise you will lose a piece. And in that case, you have no choice, you will do that. But we say that you should strive to move it into the center forward direction. Therefore, whenever you can do that, you should do that. This simple scheme, which consists of 4 elements only, explains pretty much everything you need to know about middle game planning. And if you keep these ideas in mind, you will know clearly what to do when you play a middle game. In addition to that, we went deeper and analyzed how these 4 general strategies work in different common middle game situations. We analyzed positions with advanced pawns, isolated pawns, double pawns, and various common pawn structures of the middle game. This helps you to get some readily available patterns that you can just take and use in your games. At the same time, I hope that you understood that there is nothing very special into those specific rules. They are just an illustration of how these 4 general strategies are applied in different particular situations. For example, we were saying that if you have a pawn majority, you need to advance it. At the same time, that goes in alignment with the center forward strategy play. We said how you can attack opponents' advanced pawns or double pawns, and that goes in alignment with the general strategy of attacking opponents' pawns. To conclude, you see there is nothing specific there. You know these general strategies, they're applicable all the time, and there are some specific cases where you already know the readily available patterns that you can just grab and use yourself. Another note, if we think about most of your current opponents, and what do they know about middle game planning? Most of the time they just understand that the goal of a chess game is to checkmate opponent's king, and so they try to go forward, attack and checkmate your king. But that's the only thing that they really understand. And that's of course a big problem, because in most of the cases this one-step plan just does not work. Instead there is a 2-steps plan, where on the first step you obtain an advantage, and only on the second step you go for effective attack of opponent's king. Therefore, if you cannot attack opponent's king right away, then you will simply follow the rest of the scheme. you will attack opponent's pawns and you will play in center forward direction. By doing so, you will obtain advantage, superior position, and then you will convert it into a successful and effective attack of opponent's king. Final note, in this course we did not pay much attention to the element of this scheme which is called attack of opponent's king. This is because this topic is more or less understandable. If you can attack opponent's king, you just go for this attack and you try to checkmate opponent's king. It's pretty understandable even without much study. And if you want to deepen your knowledge there anyway, you can check out my course How to Beat Title Players, where we discuss the topic of attack in greater details. Finally, if you just remember this one scheme alone from the whole study, that will be already a big step forward for you. And hopefully you'll have now a much clearer understanding of middle game playing than you've had just a couple days ago before you started your study of this course. Finally, I'll be very glad to hear from you and to know about your feedback about this course and your feedback about your results after applying this knowledge. So don't hesitate, I'll be very enthusiastic to hear from you. You can go to my website chess-teacher.com and just write a comment under the blog section or send me an email in any way. It'll be very interesting for me to know about your results. Thanks for watching, it was my pleasure talking to you. Now you're welcome to go to the practical part of the course where you'll be able to apply your new knowledge into practice and to develop your practical skills. Good luck for your chess battles, and I'll talk to you in the next courses.